Hello and welcome. I am Carissa with Cook with a Shoe with a personal finance blog where I serve you by teaching you the value of living life on a shoestring budget by choice. I share how I became debt-free while paying cash for my husband's education. And I help teach you how to gain control of your money and reach your financial goals. Today, I have the awesome privilege of interviewing my lovely friend Chonce from My Debt Epiphany. Chonce is working really hard on paying off her car loan and paying off her student loans in record time, while she's also saving money to pay cash for her upcoming wedding. Chonce is an inspiration to me, and I know that her story will inspire you as well. She is very motivated to pay down her debt and extremely organized in her approach. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring in Chonce from My Debt Epiphany. Hi, Chonce. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I have a few questions to ask you. And I really appreciate you taking the time to share with my listeners about how to pay off your debt.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So what was the moment that you realized that you had, how much debt you had and that you needed to do something about it?
So it really hit me when I realized how much I had to pay back about around the time when I graduated from college. It was a great time, but then I kind of realized that I didn't have a job and I had a lot of debt to pay. I just didn't really know what I was going to do about it, and I wanted to do certain things that I had planned on doing after graduating, and I just realized that my debt was like a huge roadblock that was just slowing me down.
That sounds like a huge roadblock to wake up to. How much debt did you start with?
I started with about a little over $30,000 in debt as soon as I graduated from college. It was about just under 21,000 with student loans, and then just under 10,000 with the car loan. So with interest and everything, it was right at 30,000.
So why do you want to become debt-free? Why is it such a thing that you're hustling to try and do?
It's just because being debt free will just open the door to so many opportunities. I want to be able to control my money and be able to start making it work for me. So now, struggling to make payments is not any way I want to live, and I want to just be free to make choices. It's all about having choices and opportunities. And with debt, you don't really have a choice. You have to pay, you have to put money toward interest, and I want to be able to fully control my life and my future.
That sounds very exciting. So now, what have you been doing to pay off your debt? I know some of the things, but please fill in my readers, my listeners, and share with us how you've been able to pay off some of this debt.
Yeah, sure. It's basically just been a little bit of everything, mainly cutting back on my spending a lot so I can put more money toward the debt, and just budgeting like crazy. I know budgeting doesn't fit with a lot of people, or certain people aren't fond of it, but it's doing wonders for me in my situation. So it really just keeps me on track and lets me know what I have to spend and keeps me focused on my end goal. And I just cut down on little expenses that really aren't important to me. We cut down on dining out a lot. So we just do it sparingly now, and like on special occasions. I stopped buying clothes. That was an issue, just wasting money. I had so much clothes already, so it really wasn't any point for me to keep buying clothes to fill a void. So I haven't bought anything since February 1st this year. So I did a 6-month shopping ban, but it was over in August, and I just really still haven't felt the need to buy anything. So I'll keep going with that as long as I can.
That is awesome. I am so impressed. I don't shop very much, but I don't know if I've never done a shopping ban like that. That is really cool. So you basically you have a pretty strict budget, is what it sounds like, and you say that helps you stick to a plan. And then, do you do anything else besides just trim your expenses, or what? Tell me what else you've been doing.
Yeah, I trimming your expenses, I feel like it can only get you so far. So I do that, and also just try to make it a fun game to see, how much I can spend, how I can do things frugally, and I'm sorry, how much I can save and how I can do things frugally. And I'm really focusing this year on how to increase my income. So I'm doing some side hustles on the side of my full-time job and trying to monetize my blog eventually. So also just trying to increase my income. That's how I'm able to kind of make large payments and try to pay things off quickly.
So what kind of large payments are you able to do? Are you like just a couple $100s, or do you throw a more substantial amount at it, or does it vary from month to month?
Yeah, it's been varying lately. At the beginning of the year, I tried to focus on saving just to get something in an account in an emergency fund before I start going hard with paying off this debt. So it started off as a couple $100s, ideally with just my full full-time job. I could only probably afford to put 400 to 500 toward my debt a month. If that would even be a stretch. I would say maybe like 400. But with freelance writing, which is what I'm doing to earn extra money on the side, I'm able to put at least $900 toward my debt throughout the remainder of the year. So, and then the following year, I want to really jump start the payments for my student loans and hopefully start putting about $1,600 down a month. But that wouldn't be possible just by working my full-time job and budgeting. So the extra income is helping a lot.
And beginning of the year is when you're able to put down so much money because of why? What are you expecting to do very soon?
Oh, I'm expecting to pay this car off and have it out of my way. So I have about $2,200 left, and I should be able to blow through that these next few months. And then I won't have a car loan by the end of the year, so all I have to do is focus on student loans.
And that is incredible. That I am super impressed that you were just blowing through that really quickly. And how great to have your car paid for.
Yes, I'm excited about that.
Nice little Christmas present to yourself. Now,
Definitely.
do you so you have a target date for paying off your car? Do you have a target date for paying off your student loans?
Yeah, I want to get those paid off by the end of next year, so December 2016.
What a great goal. So if you don't mind me asking, how much will you have approximately by the end of the year or beginning of next year to pay off on your student loans?
I should have about 19,000 left starting next year. So my plan is to put at least 1,600 down a month, and then give or take with interest. The more I pay down, the less interest I'll have to pay. It's about $60 a month now with interest. So as soon as I make those large payments, my interest should be going down. And that's not considering like a tax refund, which I'm sure I'll probably get, but I don't want to bank on that. So at least I need to put 1,600 a month on the student loans to get rid of it next year.
Now, do you how do you stay motivated to paying so much and so quickly?
That's a good question. I do a number of things. I started my blog actually just to kind of motivate me on this journey and meet other people who have gone through similar things. So I enjoy reading a lot of blogs and inspiring stories from others, and listening to podcasts and hearing about how people got out of debt. I also kind of check my debt accounts throughout the month, kind of like a weirdo. I log in and I'll look at the numbers, even if I'm not making a payment, just to see like how they're going down each month. And it just motivates me, just especially with my car, just seeing how just a few months it's going to be practically gone, so I won't have to pay that anymore. That really motivates me to keep going. It's like I just have to, make these next few payments, and then I won't have to deal with this anymore. And just setting my target date keeps me motivated, because I'm not just out here paying off debt is great, but not having a goal for when you want to, get rid of certain debts really is not going to help motivate you. So knowing that, I have such and such months left is really motivating as well.
It makes it so much manageable when you just have a few more months left and you can see your progress that you've been made. I just have recently found out how motivating tracking, in my case, my savings, how motivating it is to actually really bust it and get going and do more. So I think that's awesome. Now, I know that you just got engaged. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I've heard rumors that you're going to be paying cash for a wedding while you're paying all this debt off.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that?
Rumors are true. Yeah, well, that's, again, it's going to come back to earning more. And since I won't have my car loan, because right now I'm putting, I pay so much money on my car, it's really ridiculous. So it's gonna free up a lot of money next year when I don't have to pay anything on that anymore. But still, that money is gonna be rolled into the payment for my student loans. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep the expenses very low for the wedding. We actually booked the venue today.
Yay.
So yeah, so we got that out the way, and I'm just gonna make a couple sacrifices. I still want to have a dream wedding, but I just don't believe in spending like $15,000-$20,000 on one day. I would rather invest in our future more together. So I'm really gonna keep the wedding budget low, and then we're both gonna split most of the expenses for the wedding, and then I'm still gonna work on increasing my income. So that's really where it's gonna come from.
Well, again, super impressive. And I am definitely going to be following your blog at mydebtepiphany.com to see how you do that. I love weddings on a budget and all of that. Now, do you and your fiance talk about money? Do you handle money together? How's your plan on doing finances together?
Yeah, we definitely do talk about money. We don't keep any secrets. We do try to meet up once a week, if anything, and just have like little money dates, I guess, to go over like what our goals are, what our focus is, what are we trying to achieve together, and what we need to do, what we need to work on. We don't have like joint accounts and join our finances, but it's pretty much everything but a joint account. So like we know how much money we have, how much money we make, how much debt we have. So we're really open with talking about that and planning for the future.
That is going to be such a huge help. And I'm really proud of you for being so detailed with your conversations, right? Even before you get married, that's just going to set such a huge foundation for you and your new husband. Now, tell me, do you have, besides your fiance, do you have a support system for paying off your debt? And who is it? How do they help you? And if you don't, tell me something that you wish that you would have support.
Yeah, so my fiance is really my main supporter. I feel like he understands fully what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and he's always just encouraging me. Sometimes I'm working on trying to get extra projects and extra clients with my freelancing, and he's just really supportive and just helps out, where he needs to help out, and really wants me to reach these goals, and he's definitely on board. So he's really my main source of support. We do have a child. My son's only 5, so I really don't talk to him about it that much, but I'm sure he supports whatever I want to do. And I feel like just the personal finance blogging community, they're just really supportive. I went to the financial bloggers conference, FitCon, last week, and just being surrounded by everybody who just kind of gets it and knows what you're doing and why you're doing it is just so supportive. And just people that I talk to online have been, and readers of my blog have been very supportive and helping to motivate me to do this.
That's awesome. Now, do you do you have a specific method that you pay down your debt? Do you use a snowball method, or what do you use?
Yeah, I don't use the snowball method. I think it's called the avalanche method. I'm not gonna claim that though, but what I do is I focus on what has the highest interest and try to get rid of that first, because that's what's going to save me the most money. I feel like I already have a pretty good level of motivation, and I want to get this out of the way and get the debt paid off. So I'm starting with what has the highest interest rate for me, and that's why I started with the car, because my car note, the interest rate on that was just ridiculous. So I'll be happy to be done with that. And then the student loans have a lower interest rate, so I'll start tackling kind of like the larger ones. I think I have about 5 loans, and just trying to get rid of the ones with like the 6% interest, and then it goes down from there. So that's how I'll be doing it.
That sounds great. I love how the great payments you're putting down towards all of these debts. And then having those 5 loans, you'll be able to see a few more wins throughout next year as you're paying everything down. I think that'll be awesome.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you a question. So once you've worked so hard to pay down all your debt, and you have a goal of becoming debt-free in about, let's say it's October, so what, 15 months? Are you planning to, is there anything that you would take on debt afterwards to go to buy? Would you take on some more debt?
Definitely not. Well, aside from maybe a mortgage later on, but we kind of have a plan for that. I don't want any other debt though, so I won't be financing any cars. If I go back to school, I will not be taking out loans. I won't be trying to finance anything unless it's maybe a mortgage down the line, but no, I don't think anything is really worth taking on debt.
Now that's a crazy approach, not to go into debt for anything. Something I totally support, but tell me how you're going to be able to, how you're going to do that.
I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing basically. I've kind of adopted a frugal lifestyle at first by necessity because I didn't have a choice. But even when I become debt free, I still want to live this way. I still want to value, experiences over things. I don't want to use my credit cards like crazy or take out loans or finance a lifestyle that I think I want to have. I want to be able to, get my finances on track and not have to borrow money, or I just don't like that feeling. It's a really bad feeling to have to owe somebody money and then have interest taken away. So I don't want to experience that anymore. So just being like afraid of that is really gonna allow me to keep my lifestyle in check. And then, like I said, my fiance and my son are gonna be super supportive of that too. So we're just not gonna be like a debt household at all.
That is so incredible. I am certainly going to be following your journey with your becoming debt-free, and also how you continue on with your frugal lifestyle. I'm definitely going to be watching you. Now, tell me 1 or 2 things that you want to do once you are debt-free and you have all this extra money that you've been chunking away at debt, all of a sudden is now in your bank account. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to make any big changes. I probably would like to travel more or just experience more things with my family and just be more present in life. I feel like it's great that I'm super motivated to get this debt out of the way, but I want to focus on other things and just get this out of the way and just live a fuller life and be able to invest more. I feel really bad because I need to pay off the debt before I feel comfortable investing a lot more. So, and I do want to retire eventually, so I really want to get started on that. So I think I'll go that route.
So some more fun memories, maybe some traveling, and some good retirement. I think that's great. Now let me ask you, for just a couple of pieces of advice for somebody who's just starting out, who just realized they have a lot of debt and they want to pay it off, or they're in the middle of paying everything off and maybe they're losing some motivation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, my advice would be to develop a solid plan and just kind of be honest with yourself about your goals and your why. Like, why are you doing this? If you're in the middle and you're losing motivation, just stop regroup, refocus, and jot down a solid plan. Where do you want to be in the next 3 to 5 years? How are you going to get there? Realize that it's hard work, and there's some days when you're going to feel defeated and you're going to want to give up. And just surround yourself with people who are going to motivate you and encourage you to keep going, because you're going to have to make sacrifices, and you're going to have to work on maybe even increasing your income or cutting back on a couple of things. But just try to become content with what you have, and be happy with the things and the people that are in your life, and just keep shooting for that day when you become debt free. So let that motivate you.
Now that is fantastic advice. And I think that we all need to take lessons from you. I know that I've had to refocus, and even though I've paid my debt off, 5.5 years ago, I still have savings goals. And, sometimes when you're in the middle of it and you don't see a lot of progress, you do get discouraged. But to keep your eye on the end goal, like you were saying, and to surround yourself with supportive people. And I'm going to add, to track your progress, make it visual in some way, is super helpful and super motivating. And, it is possible to get through it. But it's a opportunity. You may make some sacrifices and work super hard now, but you're able to do so that you can have a better future. And I think that's the thing to keep in mind as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Tracking your progress is really good too. I forgot about that one. Start a blog if you want to and track your progress online. It really helps for accountability.
Especially when you have people from all over the world reading your stuff and commenting.
Yes.
And wanting to see what you're going to save, or how you're going to pay off the next debt. Definitely a motivating factor.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think we're just about done, unless you have any other last comments that you want to add.
No. Everybody just keep fighting to become debt free. If you're in debt, we're all in the same boat together. So let's help each other and get out.
Amen to that. Now, Chauncey, please tell us where we can find you.
Sure. So, of course, my blog is mydebtepiphany.com. I'm also on Twitter at mydebtepiphany if you want to reach me. And then there's other social media links on my blog, like Instagram and Pinterest. Pinterest is my debt epiphany as well. So I try to keep it easy for everybody if you want to follow me.
And let me tell you that Chauncey is one of the first financial blogs I followed. And her writing is just really incredible. It's uplifting, it's motivating, and it's just really cool to see how much progress she has been making. So if you want any of those, then by all means, follow her. And I will have her where you can get a hold of Chauncey in the show notes. Now, I wanted to thank you very much, Chauncey, for letting me interview you today and being so inspiring with your journey to become debt-free. I know I'm very inspired, and I'm pretty sure my readers and listeners will be as well. And I will definitely be looking forward to the news, hearing the news that you have paid off everything and you are now debt-free. And at that time, I would love for you to come back and do a debt-free interview and show you and celebrate with you. Would you be open to doing that with me?
Yeah, that would be awesome. I would love to celebrate. I'll probably be celebrating for a while.
And well, you should. Well, you should, because you will have been working hard. And oh, one more question I forgot to ask you. To date, from the time you really started going crazy on your debt, how long have you been paying stuff off?
Honestly, it started this year. Toward the end of last year, I started thinking about it, but I really kicked into high gear this year. So first year of going hard with the paying off the debt.
So that is saying that you're going to have $30,000, give or take, paid off in 2 years?
Hopefully, that's the plan. I should. That's my goal there.
And I'm pretty sure that you will do it. With your
Oh,
goals,
thank you.
you seem to meet them and meet them very well. So thank you again, Chonce, for joining me today. And I'm so glad that we could have a Destroying Debt interview with Chonce from My Debt Epiphany. You can always find me at cookwithashoe.com, or you can follow me at cookwithashoe on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and Instagram. Of course, if you like this interview and want to hear more, you can subscribe to our Cook with a Shoe YouTube channel and receive notice when a new video is posted. Again, thank you so much, Chonce, and I really appreciate you coming on here. But thank you again, Chonce, and I wish you all the best for the rest of your debt payoff, and I will be excited to have you back on the show.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. Have a great night.
All right, thanks.